3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1083. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. And thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So it seems that the symbolism of an ant, like the insect, could be significant here for somebody. And for me, I associate ants with teamwork and hard work. So this could be a reading meant for somebody who is working hard on something, is committed to something that they are working on, or intends to be committed, especially if other people are involved with, whatever you all are working on together. But you don't have to be working with other people for this to still be significant for you. Starting with interpreting the number 1083, the number 1 is about trusting and believing in yourself. And I feel that this number is connected to your intuition and your strength, your inner voice, and your faith, your hope. So you could be, it could be important for you to maintain hope and faith and to really, really trust yourself and whatever you are working on. And if other people are involved, can you trust them? I do think there is a warning here for somebody. Now, only take it if it resonates. But I think there is a warning here for somebody that if you are working with other people, there may be someone here that you can't really trust. Because they seem to be more focused on control, especially over you. Power. And like I said, only take that if it resonates. The number 0 can be about reoccurring themes or patterns, whether it's in spiritual communication, signs, symbols, etc., or in your own experiences with the way that things align. If this message resonates with you, this is confirmation for you to pay attention to these patterns or reoccurring themes or these signs. It may be showing up as more spiritual communication for somebody, these patterns or these recurring themes. Number 0 can also be a reminder to know when to put yourself first, when to choose yourself, respect yourself, nurture and protect yourself. Definitely an emphasis here on self-respect for this number. There could be something here that you don't have access to that you enjoy, and it can be really frustrating, but I feel that a form of self-respect here is respecting that you deserve to be at peace, not dwelling on something that you don't have or that you can't control. And I know that's definitely easier said than done, especially if you've already been trying to practice gratitude for a really long time. And you might just need to let yourself be upset. But don't stay there. Don't stay stuck. It may be helpful for you to meditate or find the stillness while you may be dealing with this frustration. I feel that an important or specific way that someone might be feeling called to put themselves first is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Don't let what you don't have now rob you of what you could have in the future. And for me personally, that can be a really helpful message, because I understand what it's like to work really hard for a long time and to have to wait really long for the results that you want. So it's I might even remember this message later, to not let what I don't now rob me of what I could have in the future. What is more important? Getting what you want now, or getting what you want in the future with something that you're working on? And I'm smiling a little bit with the latter, so I feel like it's obvious which one you actually truly want. Let's go ahead and move on to the number 8, which is about loss, and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. If you're in a situation where you're working with people, other people on something, and you recognize there might be a person or two that you can't really trust, and you feel like you have to walk away from whatever this project, this group effort is, trust that it's just not meant for you, and that it will be replaced. And it's kind of hard to get specific with that message, trusting that everything that what's lost will be replaced, when I'm not talking directly to you. So you interpret that however it actually resonates for you. You can trust that one loss is not a representation of finality. In that moment, in that specific situation, yes, it is finality, but overall, long term, with whatever your main goal is, if that makes sense, not finality. Things are still going, still moving, still progressing. Well, if you choose for them to be. The last number, the number 3, stands out to me a little bit because I saw the 333 and the reading that I just recorded. And sometimes messages spill into each other in different readings, if you haven't noticed. But the number 3 can be about self-expression and communication. Using your voice. Don't be afraid to let another person, these group of people, know how you feel, or even don't be afraid to let yourself know how you actually feel, what you think. What's really going on the inside. Be honest with yourself and others, however that may resonate for you. Number 3 can also be about healing and growing with the idea of loss. This could very much be a healing opportunity, help you grow and become more wise, or wiser. I guess that's a better way to say it. But the last way I interpret the number 3 is a commitment. Like I said, walking away from something that does not align with your ultimate goal is not finality. You're not giving up. You're still committed. I think giving up is only if you stop searching for the right solution, the right people, the right alignment. Do you know? So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. And, keep your eyes on the prize, on the path. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 8 is 9, plus 3 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. So there's a real emphasis here on communication, self-expression, being honest with yourself and those around you about how you feel, allowing yourself to heal and grow, and remaining committed to your ultimate goal, your ultimate long-term goal, remaining committed to the trust and faith in yourself and what is possible for you. So you can clearly see that there are two decks of cards on the table right now. The first one, I'm going to draw out two of these cards to get hopefully quite a bit more detail on what all of those messages were about with the number 1083, especially with working on something, potentially with other people. And then this here is the Ancestor Spirit Oracle, which I'm going to use to see what your ancestors have to say about the situation overall, the numbers, whatever comes out with these tarot cards. So let's go ahead and draw out a couple of these cards here. Whoa. Or just, let them fly out. Ooh. So, the card that fell on the floor is the Empress. And guess what number the Empress has on it? The number 3. The Empress is somebody, male or female, it doesn't matter about gender. The Empress is somebody who really values and cares for themselves. They're very nurturing and protective of themselves. They know how to put themselves first, respect themselves, trust and believe in themselves. I feel that this card most likely represents you, whether this is who you are now or who you need to become. But it could also be somebody else who may be good to connect with, to get some advice, or to seek support from. Like I said, this is somebody who is very nurturing, self-loving, has a lot of love to give. Let's go ahead and pull out this other tarot card to get more context. Another major arcana, which is the Hermit. I have not seen the Hermit card in a reading for so long. The Hermit card has the number 9 on it, and that number is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. Whoever or whatever you're letting go, if you do, this is bigger than you. Energetically, maybe even practically, depending on how things ripple. This is bigger than you. Ensuring that you are aligned with the right people is like ensuring the collective is aligned. With the right people as well, but in a more unified way. I do think whenever you seek out the right people for yourself, you are contributing to a greater effort to create more unity in whatever you're fighting for. For sure. The Hermit card in reverse, this card instantly made me think of isolation. By the way, the ancient civilization of Persia might be significant for you. In a reading recently, I did say that there were other ancient civilizations that might be significant, so if it's not Persia, and it's something else, or somebody else, an ancient figure from an ancient civilization, that could definitely be a sign of alignment with this reading. But the Hermit, the first word that I thought of was isolation. When it's upright, the Hermit is very reflective, introspective, alone, but in a good way. And when it's in reverse, this is somebody who is feeling too isolated, maybe a little lonely. You could feel like you don't really fit in somewhere or with a group of people. Like feeling alone in a crowded room. or you could genuinely just feel very alone. And that makes this Empress here all the more important to pay attention to. I see pretty much two options you have when you feel this alone. Either learn to appreciate it, or seek out connection. And what I mean by learning to appreciate it, I mean learning how to, just enjoy your own company and, really appreciate how much you really, truly love, trust, and have faith in yourself. And like I said, these are both major arcana, so this is not, a light reading, it feels like. These could be two different people, or it could be the same person. One person who is loving, nurturing, supportive, and another person who is feeling very isolated and can probably use the support of this Empress, which I did already mention when I first pulled this Empress card. That could be a possibility. Or this is two sides of yourself. The side of you that is nurturing, loving, and caring, but also the side of you that is conflicted with this more loving and nurturing, protective side of yourself. Part of you loving yourself, respecting yourself, but also feeling very, very isolated. It's all 654, which is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. And I want you to trust that whatever position you are in it for a reason. And you either get to define that reason yourself, seek out answers from the universe for that reason to be revealed to you, or it's just important for you to trust at this time that things are the way that they are for a reason. If you don't see why now, I do believe that you should find out down the line. It does feel like these cards together, this is either a message to seek out support from this Empress or to give support to somebody else who's feeling quite lonely, if you identify yourself as the Empress, or to really nurture and support yourself, the isolated part of yourself that, may even be feeling pain right now. I'm going to start wrapping up this reading now. I'm drawing out a card from the Ancestors Spirit Oracle. The card just flew on the floor again. And for some reason I wanted to say ancestors, I wanted to say ancient. So there could be ancient ancestors coming up in this reading for somebody. But the card that I have, I literally pulled the same exact card in the previous reading. And it really aligns perfectly with the messages of the number 3. It says, shine brightly, stand out, be proud, individuality. I did get a feeling here that, if part of you, or just you in general, depending on how consuming this feeling of isolation is, I think you're different for a reason. I think you are meant to stand out, and you are allowed to have pride in your individuality. Especially if you're feeling like nobody, you don't feel like other people are proud of you. At the very least, you most definitely deserve to be proud of yourself, how hard you've been working, how far you have come along. Maybe even how better you have gotten at using your voice. This really just feels like a reading about self-care or being open to support, so you don't feel that isolated. No matter what, the overall message here really is to take care of yourself, especially mentally, emotionally, and spiritually at this time.